I've been in Strangetown for a bit now. I have no means of contacting my family or Grimm, no way to get back to my life, and no idea where or when I was. The graphics looked bad, the technology wasn't as advanced as I was used to, and interactions in this world were different. What was I going to do? I have seen the crashed UFO in the middle of the crater. I've also seen the alien families living here. It's obvious that aliens are part of this town, but I do wonder what happened. How did this all occur? I wanted answers. So I went to someone who probably knew what happened. Pollination Tech number 9 Smith. At first, Paul Tech number 9 was offended by me. He really thought his human disguise was working. But couldn't the man see himself? He's clearly an alien. Once he got over that, he talked about some alien stuff, like how a traditional first date would include a trip around the moon and a swift kick to the pants. Interesting stuff, eh? He's a retired pollination tech who settled down to have a family on his favorite planet. In addition, he chose the neighborhood where his daughters, Lola and Chloe, lived. They were born due to the fact that he abducted their sim father. After a bit of small talk and getting to know him, I asked him about the UFO. He laughed a little and said, "I was wondering when you would get to that." Apparently, there's been all sorts of rumors about the UFO. For example, it's been said that he crashed the UFO, could you imagine? Or that it's a result of an alien abduction gone wrong. And now it's a sign to other aliens, do not come here. That's certainly not the case considering the Curious brothers get abducted and knocked up as soon as they look up at the night sky. Another story was that it might have been Paul's ex-wife who crashed it. Juicy gossip, I know. In all honesty, Paul actually knew who crashed it. It was coming to Strangetown to deliver a personal package to Paul, a family photo album. Wow. That wasn't what I was expecting. Now that I think about it, I wasn't too sure what I was expecting to hear. On my way out, Pollination Tech number 9's son, Johnny, stopped me. He told me that he overheard the conversation about the UFO. He knew what his father told me, and hey, that might be true, but there are other stories. Stories that might be more interesting than a family photo album. You see, Ophelia Spector told him a story that her aunt told her, that her aunt's friend told her, whose brother told them, whose mother told them, whose nibbling told them, whose best friend saw it happening. The incident occurred when Johnny's father was new to the hood. According to this version, it was actually Paul who crashed the UFO. When it crash landed, there were only 2 survivors, Paul and a lady. At the time, no one knew who she was or where she came from. She had no memories, relationships, skills, or anything. It was almost as if she traveled between worlds. Because that's what happens unless you're visiting a location made in that world. Like downtown, it doesn't make sense, I know, I get it. The logic isn't there, but it is how it is. Elegant and athletic are 2 qualities that describe Bella. She's always dressed to the nines in her fitted red dress. She's a pretty unique townie since she's rarely seen. That's aside from the point. According to this story, Paul had actually abducted her when they crashed. And now, she lives here in Strangetown. Isn't that odd? To just be abducted, crash into a new hood, and live there for the rest of your life. As he was talking about her, describing her and just chatting away about Bella, all I could think of was the fact that I had to interview her. I had this strange feeling that I knew her. The way he was describing her, it kind of sounded like Bella. Bella Goth? It didn't quite fit though. Bella Goth is well known. An icon. Could it be? Could I find a familiar face in this unknown town? I had to wait around town for a long time. Finally, I saw her and she was different. I did the only logical thing I could think of. I walked over and I introduced myself. She said her name was Bella Goth, but she wasn't Bella Goth. The only thing similar would be the red dress and the dark hair. That was not the Bella I knew. It was very clear from our conversation she wasn't the person I knew. In fact, this Bella didn't seem to know who she was at all. Apparently, she's been going to hypnotherapy and has been rereading her diary to help her remember things about herself. She told me she only just started remembering her husband, Mortimer Goth, and her children, Cassandra and Alexander. Although, she didn't recognize the last name Bachelor. According to Bella, she was abducted by aliens while she was visiting Don Lothario. She described him as a misunderstood man who was lonely and different. The neighbors didn't accept him, and he was in need of a friend. Bella simply wanted to talk to him about life, love, and how he was feeling being the new guy in town. That's when it happened. A flash of light, green men with big black eyes, then waking up in a strange place. I decided to, help move the conversation along a little bit, so I asked her about her family. She mentioned that Mortimer was working on a very important work project, a permanent life-extending elixir. At the time, he was successful with a temporary one, which had become wildly popular throughout the town. Almost everyone was taking it. So yeah, since finding out about her family and how she was abducted and all that, she's been trying to return to them. But every time she tries to leave, she ends up back in Strangetown. Wow, that was a lot to process. It was sort of insane how different this Bella Goth was in her life compared to the one back home. The one that I've met in the past lives with her loving family and has been a secret agent for many years now. And like I said before, wildly popular, an icon. I desperately want something or someone to be familiar to me. I needed this. This version of Bella made me realize that I had to take action if I wanted to find my way home. Instead of waiting around here in Strangetown, it was time for me to take a chance and travel somewhere new. I know, she just told me that she can't escape Strangetown, but I had to try it out for myself. I had to escape this place. When I opened the main menu, I wanted to see somewhere familiar, like Willow Creek or Oasis Springs even, but they weren't there. Then I remembered a conversation with Agnes Crumplebottom and how her sister married a goth and they lived somewhere pleasant. It was called something like Pleasantdale? Pleasant Valley. Oh, wait, no. It was Pleasant View. That's it. I'm headed to Pleasant View.